and I'm glad you're here for the first course of Kata versus MMA. You probably haven't had a chance to see the introduction video yet, so I'm going to give you a basic understanding of what Kata versus MMA is all about, and then we're going to show you some highlights from some of the training that you'll be seeing in the future. Kata versus MMA certainly sounds like something where we're taking direct kata and we're going into competition. And while I do feel that an MMA athlete could certainly take the techniques that we have found in kata and utilize them in the ring, my focus is a little bit more on street violence. Over the past years, I've been doing a lot of research, and what I've noticed over time is that street violence is changing. We're seeing a lot more kickboxing skills that you see in MMA, and definitely ground fighting skills are on the rise as well. But there's an area that's not being well used, and that's the clinch range, everything that goes between that kickboxing and that ground fighting. And luckily for us, Kata has answers for that through bunkai, kata applications. So I look forward to spending some more time with you and explaining what we've got available for you. But again, let me thank you for checking us out. Just a quick little note about myself. I have an 8th degree in karate, a 6th degree in Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm a full instructor in Jeet-Kune-Do. Matter of fact, a lot of what we're going to do is going to be organized around the 3 goals of combat that came from my Jeet-Kune-Do instructor, who also was the instructor for SEAL Team 6. These 3 goals are the entry, pressure, and termination. I use finish instead of termination because we're working more in a civilian mode than in a military mode. With the entry, what we're looking to do is get the opponent to start reacting to us, when initially we may have been us reacting to them. We've got to change that dynamic. Pressure is all about breaking their posture so that we can take their balance, which robs them of their strength and their mobility. And lastly, we want to be able to finish. We want to use enough violence to get them to stop and then assess the situation with the opponent and also around us at the same time. For the entries, I'm going to pull from the dozen or so entries that come from the Hanji Shodan Kata, also known as Teki Kata, Teki Shodan. This kata is well known and practiced in many styles, including Korean arts as well. So we've got a basis to start from there. We'll also use clinching skills that come from the very same kata and move into throws that also come from the Hanji Shodan with finishes. The technique sequences that I show here that come from the Kata Bunkai are first going to be used against strikes, and then we're going to use the exact same skill sets in order to deal with some grabs and holds, or holds where they're punching at you. And this is great because it shows us how the same techniques can be practiced, and it shortens your practice time because you're repeating the same skills over and over again in different ways by adapting them. And adaptation is one of the key skills that we need for combat. So we get repetition and adaptation all in one set when we're working on it like this, where we go from strikes to grabs and holds. As we progress through the demonstration, I'll be showing you the positions. For example, the inverted punch position, so that you know what part of the kata the bunkai is being taken from in the demonstration. So before we get much further, let me do a demonstration of Hanji Shodan Kata itself, and then we'll move from there. Okay, so I'm going to do Hanji Shodan Kata very quickly for you. There's going to be other videos that go into more depth. This is just to give us some perspective as we work on the bunkai. Hanji Shodan. Please help us continue to bring you some great videos by subscribing to our channel and sharing our videos.